YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We are the Washington Commanders live stream, and in today's live stream, we have yet another Commanders roundtable with most of my, closest fellas in this community that we have. So let me go ahead and see if ProTech is ready. You ready now? All righty. Got my fellas up in here for a Commanders round table. And we're going to go one by one, letting each and one of these fellas introduce themselves, even though we're pretty sure you all know who these guys are. But again, to my immediate right, like last time, you got the man of the hour, the man that's killing the game with the live streams these past 2 seasons. Brandon Sheriff, a.k.a.
Well done.
What's
up, guys?
I've been wanting to say that since I met you. Since the first time I saw I always thought you looked like Brandon Sheriff. And that's a compliment, by the way, because the man is one of the best guards in the NFL, making millions of dollars. But go ahead, the floor is yours. Tim, how are you doing?
No, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on. I know you guys keep talking about how I'm killing it, even though you just hit 5K. Pedro just hit 10K. So you guys are doing great. And Jairus is, over 2.5 now? ProTech, you're over 3? No.
I'm at 2,500 myself.
Oh, you just hit 25? Okay, so perfect. So, yeah, everybody's doing great. But, yeah, thank you for having me on. Tim from the Tim Sports Talk, if you don't know. And come over and hang out. Subscribe.
Yes, sir. And then following that guy, you got a guy that's, very, very, what's the word I can say? He tells you how it is. He ain't going to sugarcoat it, And a guy that's really starting to come up in this game, you know what I'm saying, as far as the growth of the channel. I mean, we've been knowing who he is up here on the panel for the last year, but now a lot of people starting to finally catch on.
Well, if he didn't take 48 breaks, this guy would already be at 100K or something.
We got the man from the corner, man. Jairus, what's going on, man?
What's going on? What's going on? Thanks for having me. Well needed. Been waiting for this for a minute. Been asking for this for a minute. So, can't wait to get to it.
I mean, we definitely was supposed to have been having this done, a while ago, but was letting everybody do their thing because everybody been killing it. You know what I'm saying? And then following that guy, we got another guy. I think besides Pedro, this is one of the first guys I met in this community, as far as me, not just watching as a fan, but me actually talking to this guy. You got another person, ProTech Sports, a.k.a. Tone, that doesn't need any introduction, who, looking at his channel, I didn't even know he was doing it for that long, but my guy ProTech from ProTech Sports Network, what's going on, man? How you doing?
What's going on with y'all, man? How's everybody doing in the chat? Hope everybody doing well. We got staying blessed and staying healthy. It's your boy ProTech. We'll be back with another live stream. Shout out to Juan for having me tonight. This is dope. I'm glad I'm not the only one that's doing these round tables. Shout out to Juan. Appreciate Juan for having me on the channel. My channel called ProTech Sports Network. I do all Commander stuff. I'm gonna get back to the non-NFL stuff pretty soon. So non-Commander stuff, all NFL stuff back on this offseason. So hit the sub button. I appreciate the support. Let's get right to it and let's have a great night, man. Let's do it, fellas.
Yes, sir. And then don't forget to subscribe to these fellas. Their channels will be down below in the description. And then last but certainly not least, obviously the guy that just hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, Pedro Schmidt, coming onto the channel. How you doing tonight, man? I appreciate you for coming through.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Appreciate you for having me on. You're always on the channel, always coming in clutch. So appreciate you coming on. I'm definitely gonna have to do a round table with ProTech, Juan, Jairus, and Tim, and a few others as well in the next, definitely before free agency or the draft. Gonna try to get that done. And yeah, I'm excited to talk some ball today.
Yeah, and this is like the third one that I'm hosting. So again, at any point in time, if y'all fellas need me to come on, just hit me up. But let's go ahead and get into tonight's show. So we're going to start it off by going back, okay? We're going to go from, obviously, my guy Tim. We're going to let Tim kick it off with this question here. Your overall thoughts of, this season, I guess you can just sum it up by giving one word. If you're not, if you want to, elaborate on that, you can feel welcome to do that. But try to give us one word to sum up, this season.
Tease. It was a tease. Shouldn't have been here. 1-4, and then all of a sudden Heineke decides to start winning games, and then you think you're going to get in, and then you don't.
But
So it was a bit
here's
of
my
a
thing,
tease.
though. Here's my thing, though. That isn't that what we've came to custom, to with this team. They tease us every single year with the miracle run, just like that. So it shouldn't have been no surprise, which I'm pretty sure it wasn't. But it shouldn't be surprised that. I mean, I understand the word tease, but that's what they do to us every single year. Even going back to Jay Gruden, man, they've been doing this. Starting off slow, then heating up, and then breaking our hearts again. So. Tease, okay, I understand that. Ron Rivera, him being the guy that he is, he said, which I'm pretty sure all of us disagree with, said he doesn't look at this year being a disappointment. But for me, that'd be my word. Okay, I'm gonna let you fellas go ahead, and I'm pretty sure you got some great words. You got some smart people up in here, man. Go ahead, Jarris, give me your word, man, to sum up this year's season. I'm pretty sure I can say it for him, but I'll let him go ahead and say it.
Success? For one reason. Right? No, one reason. Sam Howell, right?
Well, that's one.
Okay.
2, Scott Turner's fired.
Yeah, okay.
3, the Commander's name doesn't have a losing ring to it.
Outfit next to it.
So you get to start off at least 500 or better. And it's nothing that good can come out of us not going to the playoffs. If we went to the playoffs, Scott Turner's probably still here. Sam Howell probably doesn't start. So we have a more broadened horizon now going into next season. So good. I'll say success.
That's interesting. I mean, looking at it from your perspective, I don't disagree. However, I don't know if I personally would call it a success because I'm tired of doing this. I'm tired of firing. I'm tired of, failed expectation. Ron Rivera himself said this was the year we should expect, expect some type of success. We did this same roundtable right before week 1, and we pretty much all said this was the year we had high expectations. I said it plenty of times in the offseason lead up to this year. This is the first time in years that I've had true expectations. They let us down again. So me personally, I get why you say success because of wanting Scott Turner gone and all that. But truth be told, nobody wants to keep doing this. We want to be where the Giants, Cowboys, and Eagles are right now, playing postseason football. However, from your perspective, I understand what you mean, but me personally, I wouldn't call it a success because we know what the ultimate goal really is, and that's to be competing for Lombardis. Protect, give me your one word to sum up this year's season.
CAP, a bunch of cap. They capped about, this offensive line will be just fine with John Masco. Cap. They capped about, we're going to do good this year. We're actually going to win football games. Cap. They capped about a bunch of crap. Like they capped about Scott Turner having the offense that actually works. Cap. There's a bunch of cap.
Sam Howell's not ready. Cap. Sam Howell's not ready.
Cap. Like, more cap. Like,
yeah.
So cap. Oh, Carson Wentz against their quarterback. I thought it was cap. It's cap. There's a bunch of cap. Oh my
I heard a report that Scott never wanted Carson Wentz. I don't know how true that was, but I heard a report that Scott didn't want Carson.
I saw that.
Alrighty, so
it's just a bunch of cap. And I'm tired of it. I want to see some changes. We saw some changes, but I don't know. Ron here is more cap because Ron was capping too. Like, Ronald was capping.
Alrighty, so Pedro, what's the one word to sum up this year's season for you?
Well, I mean, mine's a little bit different than Jarris's, and if I could get 3 words, I would say worst case scenario, but I'll just go mediocre. I mean, the worst place to be in the NFL is 7-8 wins, and we've consistently been there. You look at the teams that were consistently bad, or at least like the Bengals were bad for a few years. You look at the Jaguars who've been bad for a while. Number 1 picks. They sucked for a year, and in the case of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they sucked for 2 years straight, got the number 1 overall picks both times, and got franchise-changing quarterbacks. What do? We win 8 games and are getting the 16th overall pick. And if we do want our franchise QB, likely we'll have to trade up. And then really we got no closer to a quarterback answer this season. We could have played Sam Howell earlier to see, what we had in him. We barely got, and even in the one game we played him, he only got 19 pass attempts, which is absolutely ridiculous. I was like, there's no incentive to win the game. And like, you can still try to win the game, but at the same time, give your rookie QB, as many pass attempts as possible and go for it on fourth down, which they did not do. So I think for those reasons, like they didn't really, I mean, they took a step up, offensively, but took a step back defensively. And yeah, happy Scott Turner's gone. But Scott is an issue, but he is not the only issue. And Ron Rivera, he's the one who traded for Carson Wentz. And if the report is true that Scott Turner didn't want Carson Wentz, that makes it even the whole situation even worse. I think regardless of what, like even if let's say we did make the playoffs, right? We would have Scott Turner and he didn't get fired. He'd be back this year, but most likely everyone would be gone the next year with a new owner. So I don't know. I just didn't like this, how the season ended. And, even then we still have some things to look forward to. And, like Jared said, we get a new offensive coordinator, which definitely could change up the offense. And I'm excited to see what Sam Howell can do this year.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much echoed what everyone was saying. I mean, you go alluding back to that last final game. It looked like they were playing like we had a chance to go to the playoffs that following week. Like, where was this at versus the Browns? Where was this urgency at versus the Giants the second time? Like, why did we wait until we're out to finally look like a team that is prepared and ready to actually win? And then on top of that, you're playing like you have something to play for furthermore. No, let Sam Howell throw the ball 40 times. He only had 19 passing attempts. Like, come on. Why did it wait? Why does it take you until week 18 to realize that Jared Patterson can contribute to this team? I mean, I've been screaming for this since we signed him. He's a quality running back, bro. He deserves more playing time.
Being a running back, I want him to be a kick returner before the season.
He has some good kick returns too.
Exactly.
I was saying, I mean, the only reason why I wanted him to be a kick returner because I already knew they was going to do this. I knew they wasn't going to give him a roster spot as a running back, but at least him being a kick returner was going to allow him to be on the roster. But they don't see it like how fans see it. Jared Patterson can contribute. J.D. McKissick neck issue, I just think he should retire. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to neck injuries, it's very serious. I don't think J.D. McKissick should come back.
J.D. McKissick. I wish him nothing but the best, but he was a waste of money. Not because of him per se, but because we didn't use him anyway. So why bring him back? You did all that fight for him to get it for the Bills just to not use him. Stupid.
And I guarantee you, if he went to the Bills and he was healthy, they would be. Actually, I take that back because they kind of got a similar guy like Naheem Hines, who they do not use.
They traded for him though.
Yeah, but they don't really use him how they should. So I don't know if they would have used J.D. McKissick how we think they should, but obviously he would be more involved in their offense than he was here. But Jared Patterson can do that. You know, he even though he is 5'6" or 5'7", maybe 5'8" at the most, he can pass block as probably one of the, if not the best, on our roster as for other running back group. He can obviously carry the load, and he can pass catch. He showed that multiple times. But yeah, I definitely agree with that. Let's go ahead and get to this super chat right quick, and then we'll get back to it. Big Money
Pages, you can skip that one.
That's so funny as hell.
Why you gotta do me like that, man?
Huh? Oh wait, hold on.
The second super chat for Big Money Sonny.
Oh, appreciate that, Big Money Sonny. Salute for y'all. Get pain. Appreciate you though.
Great panel.
Great panel, my fault. All right, he says Juan as head coach. Tim as QB, Pastor Jarris for halftime speeches, Protech as a beast mode running back, and Pedro as an owner or water boy. Either way, let's get it. I mean, if you're looking at the panel here, he kind of got it right. I mean, Pedro does give off ownership vibes. You know,
with that haircut, he's a quarterback. Put me at left guard. That's where I belong. Left guard, or right next to David Mayo.
Protect, he gives off the Richard Sherman vibes. You know, I think Jarris would be a little bit more involved than just halftime speeches. You know,
I ain't gonna lie. I like a straight
Jarris would be like a lockdown corner. I feel like.
Yeah. Or number one wide receiver.
Yeah, there. You go.
Yeah,
He'll be my number one target.
And then me as the head coach, I tell you.
Sorry,
this
Terry.
Now,
Go to the bench.
I tell you this now. I'll be more of a much better head coach than Ron. I really trust and believe, and I don't, you know. But yeah, that's funny. That's a funny comment. Appreciate you.
I'm about to run everybody over. Let's get it.
Yeah, I mean, you are giving it with the dreads. You're giving a little beast mode, you know, Marshawn Lynch kind of vibes over there. So, I mean, you know. But he didn't address quarterback though, so we're still in the same predicament that we were in before that. So. But I guess that's up to me though.
Tim got it. Don't worry, Tim gonna sling that thing.
Oh, Tim is the QB. Okay, Tim is quarterback. Oh, okay. Tim is going to be the quarterback. Okay, so Tim is what? Let's say 35 and 15. MVP front runner for the first year. Jarris with the triple crown.
And I'm the water boy.
And I'm the water boy. Hey,
you want to own the team about it, like.
You've seen the movie? That dude could tackle.
I mean, shoot, I wouldn't mind being a water boy for the Commanders. I want to be a get back coach, man.
I'm going off of everybody.
Okay, so he says JP is a poor man's Austin Eckler.
All right, I like JP, but he's not a great running back. He's great vision, and he's very fundamental. But he's not a great running back or anything. It's fine.
How can you say that though? He barely had.
I disagree. I think he can go for 1,000 if he wanted to, given a chance.
With what? 500 carries?
You can't stop him because you can't see him.
I'm very curious. I'm very curious how you came to that assumption, Tim, that he's not a great running back if he barely plays.
I've seen a lot of Jared Patterson over the last few years,
and with looking at him, you've seen nothing but greatness.
What I've seen is he is very fundamental. He understands how to read where the holes are developing. He's got a great jump step in the hole. He keeps that thing high and tight. He's got a good low center of gravity, but he's only 5'7" on a good day, running maybe a 4.55. So he's not the most talented.
Same height as me, bro.
What does
it mean?
I'm not gonna lie. You just named all.
He definitely has.
Look, because we have Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson does all of that. But he's a 6'1", 220.
Better vision than Jared Patterson. He's the best.
He is the best vision. That's fine. And I've always said I wish I could put Jarrett Patterson's understanding of the running back position.
I'm gonna say it. I don't mind them as a 1-2 punch at all.
Look, I've always said I would rather have. I wish I could put his mind, his understanding of the position, in Antonio Gibson's body, and we could have the best running back in the league. Right, like that would be a tremendous combination. Oh, but that's just Brian Robinson is our number one. He's becoming one of my favorite players on this team behind Terry and John Allen. I love me some B-Rob, even though I don't like taking running backs in the third round. I would rather just running backs are a dime a dozen. Damian Pierce was a fourth. Rachaad White I think was a fifth. There's another guy that was a fifth.
What's my man Algier?
Algier's a fifth. Yep.
What was Kenneth Walker drafted?
He's been here.
Brees Hall. I know they're like second rounds, but
Brees Hall was a second rounder, and he's not Brees Hall. Brees Hall is a beast.
Dog.
I mean,
yeah. But anyway, I do love me some B-Rob.
We all were talking about it, you know, prior to when we made a draft selection. That it felt like we didn't need another running back. B-Rob, just like Jahan Dawson, eventually grew on me. I mean, because I'm not going to root against them because they play for my favorite team. However, I mean, Jared Patterson, to me, like you look at guys like Darren Sproles, you know, Maurice Jones-Drew. There have been smaller backs in the NFL that have paved the way for guys like Jared Patterson. So that's what kills me with.
Didn't MJD and Sproles legit run sub 4.35s or something? Like Sproles was a sub 4.3. That wasn't MJD. Maurice Jones-Drew like straight up like a 4.35 kind of a dude. I could be wrong. I'll look it up, but you keep going. Go ahead. I'll look it up.
Hold on.
But when you look up, when you say stuff like that, you know, him not being a burner, you still can counter it with other things you said, such as, you know, great vision, great, you know, pass catch out the backfield. He doesn't turn over the ball. He doesn't fumble the ball. Mm-hmm. You know, you can counter speed.
Yeah.
Speed isn't all, and I'm pretty sure you know that, but speed
Always
isn't
get
everything.
yards.
I think the biggest thing with Jared Patterson is they overlook him just because he's small. If he was Brian
Exactly.
Robinson, he would be the best running back in football if he was Brian Robinson's size. You know, so
if he was 5'9", 205, we would not be talking about Jared Patterson like this. He would actually get more playing time. He was like 5'9", 210.
You need to get more playing time, period.
yeah.
No,
I mean,
I do like
agree with
JP,
you,
but
bro, I'm
JP is
saying
not the problem here.
that he was
JP,
taller, we wouldn't have
running
to
back
do
is
that.
so low on the totem pole. It's crazy that we're talking about it almost. Like it's so low.
RB2.
what we're talking about only because like.
Okay, Jarrett Patterson's our RB2. What's our record? 8-1. Thank you.
No, I'm
Move
not
on.
saying no, it's not.
Well, no, I'm just we're just talking
What
about it
we're
only
saying is
because
that Jared Patterson should be on this roster getting a lot of snaps. He should
we
get
shouldn't
snaps.
just
A lot?
we shouldn't just see Jared Patterson week 17
Like,
or week 18. He shouldn't be on the practice squad every
If
single
Brian
week.
Robinson is going to be your Bill Cow, put in Jared Patterson. You can't see this boy. You think all his defensive linemen is really going to be looking for him after they just got freaking ran over 1,000 times by Brian Robinson? No.
He's at best our third running back.
As-
At best.
no, I want him as my RB2
Fine.
this
That's
year.
fine.
And then even what was killing me, and I'm glad that we're getting the offensive coordinator. However, and we're gonna get to that, fellas. That this offensive coordinator we get, I don't think we're gonna like him because what Ron Rivera wants to do is what this team is not capable, shouldn't be doing in the 21st century. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get to that. The offensive coordinators that we're interviewing, Pat Shermer, Brian Bevel, the guy, from the Lions, and then the guy that the infamous call at the one, Darrell Bevel. The guy that I think we're going to get is going to be a guy that we don't want because Ron Rivera and Martin Mayhew is consistently stuck on 1985 and winning games 17-15 and trying to run the ball to the 2-to-1 ratio. What was the purpose of paying Terry McLaurin all this money? What was the purpose of going out there to get Curtis Samuel and drafting Jahan Dotson in the first round and getting De'Ami Brown if you just wanted to run the ball more than passing, like 2-to-1 ratio? And then what kills me about it is he waits till he get backlash to then try to clean up what he said. That's what you meant. You meant that because if you didn't, you wouldn't have said it, right? So whoever we get, we're not going to be happy about. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be Pat Shermer or something like that, and I'm not going to be happy about that. But let's go ahead and get to that. Jarris, start me off. How are you feeling about this offensive coordinator search? Who do you want us to get, and who do you think we're realistically going to get? Because they're not going to get who we want.
Who would I want? Either Phil Longo or Bobby Sloyd. That's who I would want. Who do I think we're going to get? I mean, I think it's from that pool that we already seen. So I think I would lean towards Bevel. That's why I think we're probably going to go. Like you said, we're not built to run the football. We're not a running team. We're not San Francisco. We're not the Falcons. We're not the Ravens. Those are teams that's built to run the football. They don't have the weaponry we have. Like you said, Terry, Jahan, Curtis, De'Ami, Monty Rogers, Gibby. We're not built that way. That's not our MO. I think those little 4-game win streaks that Ron Rivera is going on, when you really did, let's be real, who did you really beat? So I guess he's letting niggas say, well, that's the only way we went on a win streak. Well, your quarterback wasn't good, so you had to change your offense. One, so you couldn't operate your offense the way it should be operated because you didn't have a QB. Your offensive play caller was trash. So where's the way? Like, you don't even run. You barely give Gibby carry. So what you gonna do? Just hand it off to Brian Robinson the whole time, or you gonna draft another running back? So that is just stupid. Whoever this offensive coordinator is, it needs to be somebody Sam Howell's comfortable with. That's the biggest thing. And somebody who's going to maximize our weapons, primarily Terry and Gibson. But that's what needs to happen.
I look at
love, bro.
Huh?
Who? About Han, bro? Dang, bro.
Oh,
No, well, what I'm saying, but Terry's the best player on the team. Like
you say
what I'm saying is, if you maximize Terry, Jahan also ascends. If you do not maximize Terry, Jahan.
I'm not disagreeing with that, bro. I'm saying Han name though.
I'm saying Terry and Gibby because Terry and Gibby are Gibson's the most talented on the team. We don't use him right at all. That's why I said Terry and Gibby, and then everybody else get in where they fit in. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, before we get back to the offense, great. Speaking of not using guys, right? Cam Sims, we do not like. We do not. I want Cam Sims. I want Cam Sims to go somewhere where he's going to be not prioritized as a wide receiver 1 or 2. He's not that, but he's a guy that definitely deserves more targets. I mean, what game was that? Was that the Browns game where we were trying to come back
wide open?
And not only was he wide open, but we finally threw him like a high ball, and he went up there and snagged it. Like, where is that? You know. And again, I'm not saying just totally dispose of the run game. Nobody's saying that. However, I wish I had a problem like the Bucks. I don't want Byron Leftwich or Joe Lombardi, but I wish I had the Bucks problem with our weapons. Okay, you look at guys like the Chargers, teams like the Chargers and the Bucks. They don't have nearly as much offensive power as us, right? So I wish we had their problem. Which with Joe Lombardi, they pass to us. They don't run the ball. With Byron Leftwich, they don't run the ball, right? But could you imagine that with our offense, the actual talent that we have? It would be amazing. And again, I'm not saying just totally get rid of the run game. Obviously, you have to have some type of balance, but they don't see it that way. Okay, they want to protect the quarterback, and they just want to run the ball, control the clock, and try to escape games with winning as low as possible, and not giving the opposite offense the ball and play good defense again like it's 1985. But Tim, talk to me. Who do you think? Oh, well, first of all, who do you want to be the new offensive coordinator? And who do you think realistically will end up with?
I don't have tremendous insight here. I mean, I'm cool with anybody in the Shanahan tree. So Slowick would have been a great pick. Obviously, I wanted somebody like Ben Johnson, but that he's not going to go from OC to OC. I would love to hire him as our head coach from the Detroit Lions because I think he did a tremendous job over there with that offense with not great talent over, especially once Amon St. Brown and DeAndre Swift went down, they still could move the ball. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I 100% agree with you. We're gonna get some older guy. The Bevel guy seems interesting. Darrell Bevel, he seems interesting. He had like a number 2 offense back with Brett Favre back in Minnesota in 2009, and then if he's really a passing game coordinator over there in Miami, when he had Tua in the game, they were slinging that thing to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle consistently. I mean, Tyreek Hill ended up with 1,700 yards. So if that's the direction we really want to go, and hopefully he learned the Shanahan system through Mike McDaniel with the zone run scheme and understand how to actually block it, unlike Scott Turner, cool. If he wants to come here, I'm totally for it, and we'll give Ron Rivera one more season, and then we'll go from there and see who the new owner is. But that's where I go. And also, Byron Leftwich, you do not want him near your team with a 1,000-foot pole. He is awful. Okay? You have Leonard Fournette on your team, and for some reason you're starting Rachaad White. All right? You have a million-year-old quarterback, and you're throwing it 45 times a game with no interior offensive line. He's getting pressured all game. He is ridiculous. I don't know what his problem is, but he is the number one reason that team went from scoring 28 points a game to like 15 or 16 or whatever it was. No Byron Leftwich whatsoever here in DC.
Yeah, I mean, the number two offense in 2009 is probably what Ron Rivera is going to harp on if he hires this guy. But Ron, 2009 was like a million years ago. This is a new day and age. In 2009, running was still a thing. You know, teams were still winning.
Well, that was AP. He had AP.
You know, Adrian Peterson. Yeah, wasn't it his rookie year or second year? That's what I was just about to allude to. He had Adrian Peterson, so obviously it's gonna. But again,
he had Sidney Rice. He had Brett Favre.
Was Percy Harvin on that team?
I don't know if Percy Harvin was there yet. I can't remember. He may not have been there quite yet.
I mean, he just got drafted that year.
He just got drafted that year? Okay.
Yeah,
something like that. He was close. It was somewhere down there.
It's stuff like that Ron is going to harp on, but it's not 2009 anymore. It's a new day and age. Teams are winning with passing the ball. And, you know, someone had
there's still teams that win with running. I mean, Tennessee was the number 1 seed overall. Also, the Niners are a run-first team. They primarily run that football. And they were amazing.
But they can still pass
they scheme it up. They
had Jimmy G throwing it 8 times and winning playoff games. They were a
One
run
thing
first
really
team.
But look, their defense.
Pass.
If you go back to last year's playoff run, their defense was playing outstanding. Special teams stepped up really well in that Packers game for them. So yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo didn't have to do nothing. But look who's the mastermind behind it all. Kyle Shanahan. We don't have that, right? But let's answer this question before we get back to the question at hand. A lot of people are asking about Lamar Jackson.
Can I answer this one real quick?
Yeah, go Pedro.
My thing for the longest time was like, man, it would be nice to see Lamar in the burgundy and gold. But then the more I thought about it, right? The more I thought about it, I was like, okay, the Ravens in 5 years with Lamar Jackson have won one playoff game, and that's with Lamar making, let's say on average, I don't know for sure, but probably around $3-ish million a year, maybe $4 million a year.
It's like 6.
Yeah,
7.
besides the fifth year was a little bit more, but besides that, whatever he was making, it wasn't a lot. Okay,
like 5.
He's going to be asking for $50 million a year minimum. So they won one playoff game with, let's say, him making $9 million a year. You're going to have to be paying him $50 million a year, plus give up multiple first-round picks, multiple mid-round picks, and a player. Like, would it be the end of the world if we did it? No, because I would still be excited about Lamar. But at this point, I don't really think we should do it. That's just my thought. Because, and also, like the last 2 years, he has been getting injured. That's another point against him. So I don't know. I would probably stay away from it, but I definitely understand the people that want him, because I think he is a franchise quarterback. He's a better passer than people think, and there's not many franchise quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, and we're right on cue with the Ravens talk. Shout out to my guy Engraven Biz that's in here, the face of Ravens YouTube, man. So shout out to you talking about your boy Lamar and the potential departure in Baltimore, which I don't think is going to happen. They're going to eventually work out a long-term deal. However, it would be great to have Lamar Jackson here, obviously. I mean, he's carried that team for a very long time since he's been there, because they don't put enough around him. Like, and I think it feels like they do it purposely. Could you imagine Lamar Jackson with this amount of talent that we have? He doesn't have nearly as much as talent as he has in Baltimore. All they rely on is Mark Andrews. Okay, Rashad Bateman was supposed to be a number one receiver, and he's always hurt. Hollywood Brown was supposed to be at worst a number 2. He's not even there no more. So they failed to put enough around him. But that's another team, like Tim, you were trying to say, teams still be successful with running for run first teams. And to me, they're going extinct, bro. The only team that is still thriving is the 49ers. Look, but they go but so far. The Ravens is a run first team. They don't go but so far. The Titans, you said they got the 1 seed last year, 12-5, which was, to me, was fluke. I don't remember what happened last season, but what happened with the Chiefs? Did they get injured or something? I don't know.
Mahomes kept throwing picks.
That was a fluke to me. Was a fluke first seed, and you clearly saw that as they got botched out this first round. Running teams in this day and age make it but so far. They can have a dominant regular season, maybe win a playoff game, but you're not going to win Super Bowls in this day and age, being a run first team. So I would love Lamar Jackson, but obviously we know he'll cost too much. But back on to
let me say about Lamar real quick, and that people that are Ravens fans. I don't know if Ravens want to agree with this, but I know a lot of Ravens fans. That watch a ton of Lamar film. He leaves a lot of points on the board, bro. I've seen a ton of plays where he'll run around, but it'll be a wide open play in the post, a wide open play on a 9 route, wide open play here, and he's missing them. He's not even seeing these dudes. I don't think all of the Ravens' success, all Ravens maybe failures, are on Greg Roman and
he's terrible.
Receivers.
I
think something's on Lamar.
Greg Roman is horrid.
He is horrible. I'm not
so
disagreeing.
Bad.
He's probably just bad, Scott Turner. But still, these dudes are getting open. He's not hitting these dudes.
Yeah, I understand that.
He's about 10 points on the board every week. Off the film I've seen, no offense, I'm going Lamar, bro. I want to breed my own guy. Breed my own guy. I'm good. Lamar's a great player, and I'm not saying he's not a great player. He's a great athlete. He
He's a
can
tremendous
better than most people think he can throw it.
He's amazing.
He leaves 20 points on the board.
He's a franchise quarterback to me. I mean,
he's a franchise
quarterback. A lot of quarterbacks leave points on the board.
He's going to elevate his game more, though. I don't.
He's amazing. He's incredible. I love Lamar, but you don't pay any quarterback $50 million. Zero quarterbacks $50 million.
I would pay Mahomes $50 million.
If there's one, it's him.
And
if there's one, there's him. No, not Josh Allen whatsoever.
I'm giving
Absolutely
Josh
not.
Allen $100 million a year. That is my boy, man. I will go to court and say
he dang near lost to Skylar Thompson because he didn't know how to not turn the ball over.
I mean, but still, he won at the end of the day.
And he had 14 picks this year.
Also, the Dolphins or the Bills defense allowed 30+ points to Skylar Thompson. So you got to think about that too.
Yeah, because look at their stats of Skylar Thompson and company. It's because of his turnovers. He had a fumble for 6. They let also Cedric Wilson run like a 50-yard punt return back. Skylar Thompson had like 130 yards on the game or something like that.
Not to mention,
you look at the Miami stats; they were horrible on offense.
They also dropped like 12.
Jalen Waddle was open.
What's up? And Tyreek Hill, he dropped the pass too. I love Josh.
Tyreek can't catch.
I'm obviously trolling when I say I will.
So you're saying no quarterback should get paid that because explain the real reason.
Because no team has ever won a Super Bowl with paying a quarterback more than 13.5%.
Okay, but that doesn't mean they do not deserve it.
Yes, you know what? I hope Lamar Jackson makes $1 billion. This is a salary cap league. That's the only reason I'm talking about that I want to limit his money.
Because they get that money.
If Terry took every dime from Dan Snyder, I would be happy for him. I don't care about that. But I care about the salary cap, an amount that you have to be able to – you have to fill a team. And unfortunately, we're in a salary cap league, which means you're going to limit the amount of money for each player. You don't pay a quarterback more than 13.5%. If you want to win a Super Bowl, no team has ever done it in history.
So if a quarterback's like, okay, like I need 13.6%, you wouldn't do it, but 13.4 you would, like
yes. But even though we're not even in this conversation, they want 19% of the salary cap, maybe even 20. It's ridiculous what they're asking for.
We're in a good position right now. I'm not about to add extra baggage.
You know, like if Lamar wanted 13.6, okay, fine, I'll negotiate, and we'll figure that on 13.6, which is only going to be like $32 million a year. I don't think he's taking that, right? He wants
55.
Exactly, which is just ludicrous. Specifically Lamar, love him, super talented. But if you're gonna miss playoff games because you're injured, because of the style you play, then you're gonna be making wide receiver type money, not quarterback. Would he be as effective? Because he's a run-first quarterback. Maybe not run-first. He can throw. But he's clearly Lamar because of his mobility.
I'm sure he's
fine. I say this. If he already had the contract locked up, he would have played. But obviously he doesn't, so he's not going to risk, that. But I mean, we got to this because the people in the chat wanted to know if we want Lamar Jackson. The moral of the story is we would love Lamar Jackson here, but not for the money he's worth, and we already dealing with enough.
And let me elaborate. I said I'm good on Lamar. I'm not good on Lamar, the football player. I'm good on the compensations going to take to get Lamar Jackson in the contract. So don't put words in my mouth, bro.
I love Lamar's amazing. I love Lamar.
And not to mention, fellas, we'll be dealing with one of the best organizations, the most smart organizations in football, the Baltimore Ravens. So with that being said, Eric DeCosta, one of the best general managers, they're going to be smart. If they want to get rid of Lamar Jackson, they're going to be smart about it. What are they going to do? They're not just going to let him walk. They're going to franchise tag him and then trade him to a team like Washington that is going to be, dumb enough to give up 3-4 first-round picks. It's not only going to take 3-4 first-round picks. It's going to take that plus Montez Sweat or Chase Young or Jahan Dot. It's going to take so much. So by the time Lamar Jackson actually gets here, he's going to look up and the only person
I give you Bobby McCain.
Andrew Norwell. Andrew Norwell. John Bostic, David Mayo.
Take a contract match.
Since I think Jones can get anywhere between 30 and 40 million. I think Danny Jones is going to get Danny Jones probably going to get 32, probably 32 a year. Maybe.
I think Danny will get 30.
He's probably going to get like a Ryan Tannehill contract.
I'll tell you what, He beat the Eagles.
He's getting 35.
He gets 30.
Hell.
And I'm rooting for the
If
Giants.
he plays well against the Eagles, that will prove a little bit something
I'm
to me.
rooting for the Giants.
What he did against the Vikings,
I'm still not sold.
I'm not impressed with the Vikings.
Because we all
the
knew
Vikings
the
were
Giants,
horrible.
we all knew the Vikings were vulnerable. They were like that all year long. I mean, we blew a 10-point lead to them in the fourth quarter.
We were like the only team that could not score on them. We scored. I heard Kevin Sheehan say this. Taylor Heineke against the Vikings threw for 149 yards. The next 7 weeks, opponents averaged 315 passing yards per game against that secondary. That's just ridiculous. This a little off topic. I just wanted to get this off my chest because I saw it on Twitter today. And Rep the District, they got a great channel, everything. But they said on their Twitter, let me pull it up. When I saw this tweet,
Please.
I was like,
it better not be what I think it is. I think I already
know it is.
Is going on. So he says, I just want to read it like verbatim.
Stoner's a troll. Stoner's a troll.
Should Jake Fromm get a fair shot as QB1 for the Commanders? And then I comment, is this a joke? And he says, no, it's a question. Don't read into it as a statement. And then he asks, like someone asks, like, how's way better? And like, there's no difference between the two. This man got me upset in the middle of my syllabus week class. Like I stopped paying attention to the syllabus and I was like, okay, let me just debate this guy. Oh my God. I just had to get off my chest.
Yo.
Stoner's a troll. Stoner's a troll.
I'm not replying to this stupid stuff, bro. I'm not doing it today, bro. Y'all not gonna piss me off today, bro.
Oh, that's amazing. Jake Fromm, should he get a fair shot?
That's the stupidest question I ever heard.
Dude, I mean, why you guys want to throw in Steven Montez?
I'm about to say the same thing. Give me Montez.
Give me Stinson Bennett, pick 16 overall.
I don't know Jake Fromm. Go get Carson Strong.
Give me six.
Yeah.
Give me 6'7". Give me 6'7" Carson Kelly back on the team and let him.
Carson Kelly.
And he was saying there was no difference between Howell and Fromm, and I was like, first off, Sam Howell was projected to be a top 5 pick before his last year. Second off, Jake Fromm got cut by the Bills and cut by the Giants, and he's played multiple games. Howell has played 1 season, and he's played behind 2 veterans. The 1 game he played well. He's got potential.
Pedro's mad.
Not even
Pedro is
close.
mad.
I wasn't even mad at the question, but he was trying to justify it in the comments, and that is what got me like.
I know.
I can justify Jake Fromm, bro.
You're not wrong to be mad. You're not wrong. It's hysterical what he did. That is too funny. That is funny.
So we're having such a great conversation. I forgot to finish going around to ask everyone the offensive coordinator. I think Tone was the final one.
I got you. I gotta go.
Oh, it was you. It was you. All right, we'll go protect.
Let Pedro go. And I'll go last.
Yeah. So for me, I would say I think it'll be Pat Shurmur just because Ron's got history with him in terms of they've kind of been in the same coaching tree, and also Ron interviewed him for OC in Carolina, and also was rumored to be interested in him in 2020 when they got Scott Turner. So I think it'll be him. I don't want it to be him. I'd rather go somewhere else like Daryl Bevel, or if Frank Reich doesn't get a head coaching job, I would like him as an OC. People got to realize just because a guy didn't work out as a head coach doesn't mean he can't be a good OC, because a lot of the times there were good OCs and that got them the job as a head coach. Same thing with Jim Caldwell. They said that he wasn't going to take the job, but then Keim today was saying that, it'll be a wait and see situation. If he doesn't get any head coaching jobs, maybe he would come here. So I mean, obviously Caldwell and Reich, those are kind of like long shots, but I would like them. If not, Daryl Bevel's fine. Joe Brady would be amazing. I don't think that's going to happen, but those are kind of my options. But I think it'll be Pat Shurmur.
That's good. Before we let Protect go ahead and give his options here. We got a Giants fan in the chat, cruising 2-6, always coming through. He says this is where the basement dwellers hang out. I mean, you got nothing from me. I can't respond to you right now. I mean, you're one game away from the NFC
Hey,
Championship.
look, like I say, I'm rooting for the Giants.
Ain't much you gonna get out of me. You can't talk trash. So.
Oh, the Eagles smashed them.
If they beat the Eagles, they going to the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, for sure. If they beat the
They're
Eagles,
not beating the Niners.
If they beat the Eagles, listen, it's something about the Giants when they get in the playoffs. I don't know what it is.
Did it twice. It's not
Something about them.
Mm-hmm.
They get
Daniel
past
Jones is going to face a real
they're
defense.
going to the Super Bowl. They get past the Eagles, they're going to the Super Bowl. I want Brock Purdy to win it because that'll just make me that much more right. But trust me, if they're going to the Super Bowl if Daniel Jones beat the Eagles.
You say the Giants gonna face a real defense. Honestly, the Giants defense has been really good down the stretch of this.
The Giants front, that D-line is so crazy.
He was talking the Giants offense facing actual defense.
No, I know that. I know. He was saying that the 49ers, the Giants was going to face a good defense. I said the 49ers are too, because the Giants defense has been playing really well down the stretch too. That front obviously is Azeez Ojulari, Kayvon Thibodeau, Leonard Williams, and Dexter Lawrence, and then their secondary is better than what I thought. Xavier McKinney's back there now. So I agree with Jarris wholeheartedly.
They still have Landon Collins though. Expose that real quick.
Hey, look, Landon look good.
Week one ain't an idiot. He know what Landon can do. He ain't a dummy.
Oh, and by the way, isn't Jalen Smith playing good football? We did have a chance to sign him. I did.
I know he on the Giants, but I haven't seen him out there.
We don't have a linebacker problem, okay? We have John Bostic and David Mayo. We're gold. Let Martin Mayhew tell you again. We don't have a linebacker problem.
Week 18 was
That's why we signed 0 linebackers this offseason, even though that was our number one position of need.
I'm about to puke. Stop.
Week 18,
but we don't have one.
Jim, what are you talking about? We signed John Bostic 1 week before the season started.
What a stud! Golly, Martin Mayhew's amazing.
Can't stop this, please.
Top notch. We hired the 0-16 Lions GM. What a genius, Ron Rivera. Genius.
You said the 0-16 Lions.
Stop it. All right, I'll get my pick off as a coordinator real quick. I'm gonna go quick. It's gonna probably either be Pat Shermer or they're gonna go call Mike Shula up and say, "Hey, buddy, welcome back, another commander, daggone commander."
If he can call
Mike Shula or Pat Shermer, it's we want them daggone too. But I personally want I want either Frank Wright, Jim Caldwell, or the Atlanta quarterbacks coach because he's been developing Desmond Ridder. No.
Ridder's a beast, but I don't want because they do not know how to call a pass game at all whatsoever.
He's not in the OC.
But he would be calling our pass plays, right? They call a horrible pass game.
What exactly?
Horrible pass game in Atlanta. Ridder basically calls his own plays.
We see that up close and personal.
They do not at all.
We talk about a team that literally runs the ball.
Their OC's trash.
We literally saw that. Is Arthur Smith their offensive coordinator?
He calls an amazing run game.
Yeah. He's the coach, but he calls the plays too.
Yeah, I know he's the head coach, but I'm just like, is he one of the Kyle Shanahan's that calls
an amazing run game?
I'm pretty, but yeah. When you have Kyle Pitts and you don't even give him the ball, it's a problem. But what exactly does a passing game coordinator do? What is his actual day-to-day role?
Please, I guess.
I would imagine that he designed, he would study the other team's secondary to try to find tendencies that they can win in the pass game and present them to the offensive coordinator of these were the plays in the playbook that should have a better chance. I would imagine, but I actually don't know for 100%.
And he said, Mike Lowry said, don't forget.
Caldwell, though.
Mike Lowry said, don't forget Khalil Hudson when you're talking about the stud collection of linebackers we have, who I know obviously they're trolling, fellas. Khalil Hudson is actually pretty good. If we actually put him on the field, you clearly saw that the guy can play, but we still want to stick with John Bostic and David Mayo when we have these young guys.
I'm interested in Milo Eifler.
Yeah, why wouldn't play Milo, bro?
He's an athlete.
What about Harris?
He's
What about
striking.
Harris?
The John Harris.
What's one called? Yeah, Harris. Scooter Harris. What about him? I would prefer him to be out there than John Bostic. No.
How about none of them? How about none of them?
How about none of them?
How about none of them?
Yeah.
But if we had to pick them, I'd rather have Khalid Hudson than John Boston.
Here's my thing. Here's the thing. If we had actual coaches that think with their brain, we don't have a linebacker problem, but we have a linebacker problem because we don't have coaches that think. Here's the ideal linebacker room if I was in charge of it. I'm pretty sure if any of you guys were in charge. Jamin Davis is the starting linebacker. Alongside you, re-sign Cole Holcomb, who a lot of people don't even want to bring back. I don't understand that. I don't get how y'all don't want Cole Holcomb back. Bring me back Cole Holcomb. Bring in Khalid Hudson as first step guy, huh?
For how
Cole
much?
Holcomb? I mean, obviously not one that's just gonna knock. He's not a Shaquille Leonard. He's not one of those, but a
Under
reasonable, friendly deal for.
He ain't
Cole
taking
Holcomb.
anything.
A friendly Cole Holcomb deal. I want him back, and then you got Khalid Hudson as the first guy that's a depth guy, but he's going to actually have, a role on this team. But we just don't have the brain on this coaching staff that thinks like that. They want to force David Mayo on us and John Bostic for whatever reason. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a fan that watch football. DeAndre Taylor, appreciate the super chat. He says, just let me get a QB whisperer. How season? I think I had enough. Oh, here it is.
Cool.
Armin Brown, I appreciate the super sticker. Thank you so much. All right, fellas. So
but he can step.
go ahead. Oh, go ahead, Jess. What you say?
I said I like Cole Holcomb, but he can step.
I don't know. I think you're just creating a problem.
I want to draft 2 linebackers and get them on a rookie contract. I'm not spending I want as much, like Tim said, cut Leno, cut whoever you can. I want my money spent on the offensive line. That's why I want it spent.
Yeah, I think you bring back Cole if he's willing to come back on a reasonable deal, but I'm not overpaying for no Cole Holcomb when you can get a Cole Holcomb in free agency for a similar level player to Cole Holcomb in free agency, and if you can get him for $4 or $5 million, that's fine. If you bring back Cole Holcomb for relatively cheap, maybe a 1-year prove it deal for him, that's fine. But like Jared says, we got to invest in the O line, even tight end a little bit too. Like that tight end room is not good. We got to move on from Logan Thomas, in my opinion. Restructure some deals. Like I think Leno. It's like, if we can restructure that deal, get some of those guarantees, bring it down, I'm fine with it. If not, we can move on. The whole offensive line needs to be revamped. And so I mean, if you can get Holcomb back for cheap, I would do it. If not, find someone else that can replace him.
But here's my thing. Why do we assume that Cole Holcomb is going to ask for the whole world? I mean, he's a guy that he wants to be back here. I'm pretty sure he's going to take a team friendly deal. Why do we just assume he's going to want top of the market linebacker money? I mean,
I just asked the question. I don't know what the contract is. I wouldn't mind Cole here, but I don't think Cole is a great starter by any stretch. I still think we would need linebacker help, and Jamin is still a huge question mark. If you even have still the question, I don't even know if he's really that great. But we need a true middle linebacker is what we need. A quarterback of the defense. Who? Draft, I'm cool with that. If you want to draft another quarterback that could be a legit quarterback. No, he cannot. When he thinks, he plays like he's slower than me. He gets stuck in mud.
He was thinking all of his rookie season. I mean, in the first
and
part,
this year.
Once they called him out, or once they said what he said, he was lights out. He was good.
Once you put John Bostic in, where John Bostic was the quarterback of the defense, then Jamin, where he can play more free. The dude is not a high football IQ player. It is what it is.
Right now,
and he cannot be your quarterback. I wish we got Nakobe Dean out of Georgia. I think he could have been a legit quarterback of the defense. But I'm just saying, that's what we need.
We wanted that. We all wanted a Kobe Dean. We just don't think like that, fellas. Like, I don't understand why our coaching staff doesn't think how we think.
We need linebackers.
They get paid millions to do that. I'm definitely not against
upgrading. And if they're gonna run zone, you need linebackers that know how to run zone.
I'm definitely not opposed to upgrading the linebacker position. I understand that we definitely need some work there. You talked about the tight end position. Again, this is where coaching comes into factor. I definitely think we can have a way better tight end, but we have a good crop of guys post Logan Thomas. Yeah, y'all talking about getting rid of Logan. Even besides Logan, we have 3 tight ends that are capable of being really solid. And Amani Rodgers and Nicole Turner, but we don't have a coaching staff. We didn't have an offensive coordinator that was capable of actually getting the best out of these guys. But moving on to the next topic that I would like to talk about with you guys is obviously the ownership being a big thing in the streets nowadays around this time. Let's start with Jairus here. What do you think about the ownership? I saw that you made a video about it today. Just give me overall thoughts on the whole ownership process, I guess.
I don't care who the owner is personally. If we're going to get up, my biggest thing, especially in that video, was whoever this owner is, don't be stupid. Don't try to come in here and clean house. Don't mess with Sam Howell. Don't try to go up and make a trade for a QB in this draft who's not a franchise quarterback anyway. I don't want none of that bull jive. So if this owner comes in here, come in here, shut up and just sit there and wait till next year and see how the team. That's all I want this owner to do. That's it. Nothing else. Don't touch the team. Don't touch it. Don't mess with it. Let Ron Rivera do whatever he's going to do. Don't touch it. If we have an unsuccessful season, then you can touch it. But going into it, leave it alone.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing. Leave it alone.
Tim, what's up? Talk to me about the ownership. How are you seeing it right now?
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed because I really, really want Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, to me, has the right mindset to be able to turn this franchise into something absolutely spectacular. It's very frustrating that he didn't put in a bid. I think it was Keim that said he's not out yet, though, so maybe there's still a glimmer of hope there. But I feel like we're going to get somebody that's like a hedge fund manager or something silly, and it's not going to be great. It's going to be, no matter who we get, is going to be better than Dan. Literally, Dan is the bottom of the barrel. He is the worst of all combination of you can ask for an owner. But I'm not going to be pleased with it, especially because it's basically the name situation all over again. I wanted Red Wolves so freaking bad, and I ended up with Commanders. Now we're here. And I feel like I want Bezos so freaking bad, and I'm going to end up with Josh Harris, who, before he bought the Phillies, were in the playoffs year after year, and now have gone to the playoffs one time since he's bought the team. Right? I just feel like that's who we're going to end up with, or something like that. And similar to Jairus, though, I mean, it is very low in the totem pole as far as like ownership, I guess. Like how I shouldn't say it's that low, but if it's not Bezos, then I don't care. Is basically what I'm saying. If it's not Bezos, then I feel like we lost, but it could be worse. So hopefully we just get somebody that's somewhat competent. And I do love what you had to say there, Jairus. That's a great point of just sit back, wait a year, and then make your mark on this team. Don't feel like you need to come in right away and make a bunch of changes.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of disagree with you guys in the sense of how the importance to you guys of where the ownership is. I think it's very much more important than you guys think, honestly, because it's the person that owns the team. We've had countless coaches, countless players, but obviously the same result because now you can't blame the team. The owner product, you got to go up top. So if we get rid of that, then that's when the true change officially happens. But then I wouldn't like Jeff Bezos, but we know that he's not going to happen. Why? Because he's the one that's in charge of the Washington Post, and he's the one that put all this stuff out about Daniel Snyder. Daniel Snyder is weird. He's not going to sell to him, bro. Like they literally came out and said that the Snyder family does not want to sell to Jeff Bezos for whatever reason. Although Jeff Bezos will literally give him however much money he wants for the team, he's not going to sell to him because he's so weird individual.
That is true. Real quick. Before ProTech goes, that is true, but he also said he would never change. I saw Rick Snyder tweet this. He also said he never would change the Redskins name. He also said he never would sell the team, and look what's happening. Also, if it's a difference of like 50 million, okay, he might want to be like, okay, I'm not going to sell to Bezos. But if Bezos is offering, which he hasn't put in a bid yet, but if he is offering 300 million, 400, 500 million more than the next guy, I mean, is Dan Snyder really going to care over $500 million? Like, I don't think so. $500 million difference. I think Snyder will sell to Bezos and be
Also,
like,
can he do
whatever.
that? Is there like legal things with that? Like, can he just decide I'm not selling? Because when I sold my house, there was like all these laws that I wasn't allowed to know who was buying the house and this, that, whatever. Because like with all the minority stuff or whatever, you can't. I don't want to sell to gay people or something stupid like that. Like, there's I don't know if like you can just decide like if he puts in a bid that's so much over offer that matches everything else. It's interesting. Maybe he can. Maybe this is more
Maybe because it's more
optimism speak.
public.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I think it declined a bit for someone he don't want to sell to. I think
He might be able to. It's interesting because I wonder what the laws are on that.
I mean, they did say he didn't put in a first round bid, which they also made a good point, which I talked about, was him not making a first round bid. It doesn't necessarily mean he's out on it because he could just be waiting till everybody else fails. Because again, it doesn't matter who you are trying to bid for this team. You don't have more money than Jeff Bezos. So him not putting in a bid now, he could just be letting everybody else put in a bid, which clearly the one that I think they said the highest bid so far for the first round was $6.3 billion, and Dan, I'm pretty sure he wants more than that. So he's allowing these people to put in their bids now, and then once Dan gets to the point where it's like, all right, nobody's selling, nobody's giving me what I want, then Jeff Bezos come in with an offer that he can't turn down. As much as he doesn't like Jeff Bezos and doesn't want to sell to, if Jeff Bezos comes to him and said, I will buy this team from you right now for 7.5 or 8, when nobody else is offering him nearly as much money as that. I mean, it's obvious. It's Dan Snyder, so
we can only hope. But I also heard Jeff Bezos might be waiting for the estate to close in Seattle, apparently, because that's where like Amazon headquarters is. Apparently, he likes that, so that could also be a huge wrench in this. But as I said, I want a good owner. I just don't, and I hope we do get it. I don't know these people, obviously, that are out there, but I just don't have. I have a lot of hope in Jeff Bezos, but everybody else, I'm kind of like, I have to wait and see. I have no idea who I'm getting.
I just want a guy, honestly, fellas, I just want a guy that's going to be hands off. Like, just be an owner and worry about the business side. Run it as a business. Don't try to be too hands on. That's why I want to stay away from hometown guys and guys that were fans of this team, because that's what Dan Snyder was. And obviously thinking as a fan, like we are, we think we know it all, and we want to go in and make changes how we want. We want to be so hands on. That's what Dan Snyder was, and that was a part of what ruined this organization. Hire the guys that actually get paid the good money, that actually knows what they're doing. That's what I want for a new owner. If we in fact get one, I want a person that's going to be hands off. And I agree with Jarris and with Tim said about just wait a year before you make changes, because the sale is going to happen probably in March. If it does, the draft is a month. You don't want to fire nobody because that gives you a month or less than a month to get new guys in here. That's just doing too much. But let me answer the super chat. And then I think Pedro was talking. Mike Lowry, appreciate you. He says, since we have so many positions of need, which positions get overlooked next season? Pedro, you can answer the owner question first, and then you can take this question on.
All right, bet. So I think owner, it is what it is. Anyone not named Dan Snyder, I'm a happy man. Like, I still am not selling, even though it's like very, very, very high chance we get a new owner. Like, I'm still need to see it to believe it. So whenever that happens, I'll be a very happy man. And Jeff Bezos, like Tim, that's the guy I want. I mean, whatever. All these owners have their own, personal issues. Jeff Bezos has his, and so does everyone else. But Jeff Bezos has so much money that he could buy like every team in the NBA, and he would be able to build us a super stadium, state-of-the-art everything. And I would absolutely love that. We would actually have, the World Cup is going to be here in the next World Cup. FedEx Field they're not playing there because it's a terrible stadium. And Olympic stuff like that, they're not going to be playing here because of lack of stadiums. And if, Jeff Bezos was the owner here, he would be able to build us something amazing. But besides that, there's other guys. I'm fine with whatever. And just be a guy like Bezos who knows how to run a business and let the people he has to hire the people he wants. But after he hires them, let them do what they need to do. Give them the resources that they are asking for. to do what they need to do. And yeah, bring these guys back for 1 year, evaluate them after year one. If they don't take a step in the right direction, if it's another 7-8 win season, I think you have to clean house and go after someone else. But if they win 10, 11 games or even win a playoff game, hey, let Ron go another year and see what you can do there. But that's kind of my thoughts on the owner's situation. Anyone but Dan is my thoughts, and Jeff Bezos would be amazing. And then positions of need, which get overlooked, I would say I think tight end is kind of a position that, everyone's talking about the O-line, rightfully so, because it is not good and it is old. But I do think that tight end is a position where you got Bates, who's good. He's a good, blocker, and he's going to be part of the next few years, but he's not a pass catching tight end. He is a blocker, and that's it. He's good to have on the roster, but you don't want him catching passes. You need a tight end one. Logan Thomas isn't tight end one. Cole Turner, maybe he can be, but now he is not tight end one. He is not a starting tight end in this league. You got to do something, even if it's sign a cheap veteran like Gerald Everett, someone like that. You got to get someone in here, some guy that can get you 500 plus yards. I don't care who it is. Get someone better than Logan Thomas. And another position that I would say, that's kind of the main one. The other ones I would say are obvious: linebacker and O-line especially.
All right. Jairus, you want to answer that question?
Amani Rogers is clearly a tight end one. That the talent of that boy, that's clearly a tight end one right there. Cole Turner.
Though?
Yeah, clear.
You think he's clearly
I think
clearly
he's
a guy that can
clear.
get you 800 plus yards?
He'll never get that considering the weapons we have on the team. Like, if we didn't have Jahan and Curtis, he could do that. We just didn't have the offensive play caller that's going to actually give him the football. Or the quarterback, rather. We didn't have Haneke. He was a quarterback. He really doesn't throw the tight end as much.
I was overlooking Rodgers a little bit. I like Rodgers. I think he can be a good weapon to offense. I still think you need to add someone else. I don't think Rodgers is a good young piece that has a lot of potential, and then Turner is a little bit as well. But you need at least to bring in a veteran if you move on from Thomas, in my opinion.
I agree with Pedro on that too. On the ownership thing, I think a group that we're not looking at is Clear Lake. Was it Clear Lake investing group, something like that? They were looking to buy a piece of Commanders when Dan was trying to buy the entire rest of the shares of the team. Or they were looking to buy. I know Rio did a video about that not too long ago. So, and they're from the area. They're not fans of the team, but they're from the area. They're great businessmen. They bring in a lot of money. They don't bring Jeff Bezos money in, but they do bring in a ton of freaking money. And of course, we all want Bezos, obviously, but hopefully Dan will actually sell to Bezos, but we don't know. But that's another group to keep your eye on. I'm actually gonna look up their actual name. I don't want to butcher anything real quick, but yeah, that's another group of people that might probably want to buy this team that you want to keep your eye on as well.
Position
Clear Lake Capital Group. Yeah, Clear Lake Capital Group. That's their name. CCG.
Safety.
In position that we're overlooking,
Safety.
Safety.
He don't like Derek Forrest, and neither does Tim. Whatever. Yeah. All right, but I think we're not looking at cornerback.
Come on.
Corner. Come on, dog, bro.
That's obvious. That's an obvious one. No one should overlook corner.
Say this: the best ability is availability, and when we needed Benjamin St. Juste, he wasn't there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think we need a cornerback one. That's just me. That's how I feel. I don't want to rely on someone that gets hurt. He got concussion last year. He got hurt this year. I'm sorry. I love St. Juste. I think he's a dog. I think he is a CB1. Talent-wise.
When healthy, though.
When healthy. That's my thing.
I'm not,
the best ability is availability.
And
That's
I'm
why
saying,
they drafted Brian Robinson, because Gibson always played hurt. We gotta call it what it is.
I'm saying that cornerback isn't the position that's overlooked. That to me, I want to go first round cornerback personally.
That's you, but some people are like, oh, we're good at corner. Some people said we're good at corner.
Where? Did anyone see what Kendall Fuller did in the first half of the season? Did we not just see Kendall Fuller revert back to Kendall Fuller in the second half?
We're not cutting
Jackson
Kendall
wasn't
Fuller.
that
We're
bad,
not cutting
though.
Kendall Fuller.
You got and then Danny Johnson. He's not a cornerback 3. He's a cornerback 4. We don't have corners. We have one good corner.
Danny Johnson should not be
great.
the first corner off the bench.
That's going to be your first corner off the bench.
I hold on before I say anything. Listen, we've been over an hour. We're still gonna kick it, but if you gotta leave right now or anything,
Peace.
you have to understand.
No, I'm just kidding.
But appreciate y'all for kicking it with me. But to answer the question, I don't know. I like Danny Johnson. I just think he was in the wrong position. You seen what happened when he was outside. He was good. But I definitely either left tackle or cornerback is what I want to draft in the first round. But whoever was talking can continue.
Left tackle, please.
I don't mind left tackle at 16.
I wish we drafted left tackle first round last year.
I do mind.
Or Darisaw 2 years ago.
I do mind.
I did not want Darisaw, so I'm not going to live in hindsight 2020. I was wrong about Darisaw, and I'm completely fine about admitting that. But I wanted Trevor Penning last year.
I want to sign one.
I definitely wanted Darisaw.
Who's out there?
Like I said, Trevor Penning prior to the draft. When everybody else was saying receiver, I was saying I want a left tackle.
And shout out to Marty, whatever that boy name is, whatever that guy name is, he wanted to draft tackle. So he had the right idea. He had the wrong player in mind.
Ron Mayhew, yeah, he wanted to draft.
Green for himself, boy.
Who he wanted to draft too?
Barrett Tucker?
Kenyon Green, the bum.
Yeah, Kenyon Green. He wanted to draft.
Wait, Kenyon Green's not a tackle. He's a guard. That would have been a horrible. I would have been mad.
Martin Mayhew wanted to draft him online. Remember in the drafting Jahan Dawson.
Golly.
Martin Mayhew said in the video.
Martin Mayhew wanted Kenyon Green. That's a fireable offense on spot.
Thank you, Texans, for taking
That is immediate exit to the left. Like get out
immediately.
Oh my!
Y'all didn't see the video of when we drafted Jahan Dawson inside of the war room? He literally said, "I think we should take Kenyon Green." And then I think Ron Rivera was like, we want Jahan Dawson. You can't pass up on him."
Oh no! They say like Houston just took up. Thank God. I don't know what happened. Oh golly! If we took another guard.
All I'm saying is I like Jahan Dawson now, but people were giving me hell because I wanted Chris Olave, and all I'm saying is, look at him. If he was in Washington,
no. I would have been mad with Chris Olave too. No, I don't care.
He's offensive rookie of the year.
No, he's not.
Even though I think Jahan Dawson would have been.
No, he is not the offensive rookie of the year.
I know we don't want him to be, but I'm saying I think they're going to pick him to be offensive rookie of the year.
No, he's not. Over Kenneth Walker?
I think so.
No, he's not even the best receiver. Garrett Wilson's number one.
I was looking at.
No, Kenneth Walker should win it. Kenneth Walker is 100% offensive rookie of the year. But number 2 is Garrett Wilson. Anyway, Chris Olave is a fine player. He's a really good player. I'm not hating on him as a player, but no, he's not worth pick 11.
Not Olave, but I'm fine with Jahan at number 2, but he ain't Olave.
Jahan Dawson is offensive rookie of the year. I'm just gonna say that. What, Garrett Wilson's not what?
He said Dawson ain't Olave. He's not Garrett Wilson
either. You actually had a choice between Olave and Dotson, but you didn't have a choice with Wilson.
I did like Wilson. I would have been okay with Wilson at 11, but not happy because I don't like receivers in the first round.
But looking at the odds, they were saying Chris Olave was like the front runner to win offensive rookie of the year.
Maybe earlier, but right now it's Kenneth Walker.
I think Jahan Dawson would have been rookie of the year if he didn't hurt. I mean, the guy had. What do you have? How many touchdowns did he have in the first couple?
7. He ended with 7.
People did want Kyle Hamilton too, which look back on that.
Kyle Hamilton's my second choice.
I still want Kyle Hamilton so bad.
I wanted Kyle Hamilton.
I wanted Trevor Penning. That's who I wanted. A left tackle.
Dotson I did his stats today, like 17. If he played like 17 games, his stats: 741 yards, 10 touchdowns, 50 catches. And that is, if you think about it, if you remember, like the first 2 games back from his injury, they targeted him 1 or 2 times in those 2 games. And with the offense where we were running, there would be times where like he barely got targeted, and it's a run-first offense. I think, honestly, he's been a very good pick. Maybe not as good as Olave. I was wrong. I mean, I thought Dotson was going to be better than Olave. Obviously, still a lot of time. Who knows? But Olave looks like he's a great. I know. I see Jared. Whenever I'm tired, I see Jared's face, and I'm like, oh man, I know he's.
I like John.
What?
I like John. You know, matter
I
of
do
fact,
too.
let me clear up something because people think I hate Jahan.
too.
I don't ordain people stuff. Like I like Jahan. He showed me some things this year. He also showed me he need to work on his hands.
Yes,
He had to
I
walk.
agree with that. Like I tweeted out during the Cowboys game, I was like, Jahan's great, but like he's had too many drops or dropping catchable passes.
And bringing it in too, holding on to it.
Exactly. Like Jahan's been good, and we'll see how Sam Howell looks, but I'm excited. I
Should
want
have
to
had George Pickens in round 2.
Give me one season.
That's what we should have taken.
Terry McLaurin getting passes from a good QB. I just need one season to get him his respect.
Sam Howell, baby.
I think
Ride with Sammy.
honestly, looking back on that draft, you couldn't go wrong with any receivers. I mean, literally majority of all the receivers were good this
All of
year.
them got like 8.
So that means you did go wrong. If you did not take George Pickens at pick number 47, you went wrong.
No.
Because you didn't need one of those earlier rounders. Now you have no offensive lineman. You should have taken that left tackle and not gone cheap with Charles Leno so he could just let Kayvon Thibodeau run free, smacking Taylor Heineke in a tie game, right? He's trash. You should have gone left tackle and then George Pickens round 2, who actually has size and strength, because something that nobody talks about with Jahan Dotson is we're running a run game running behind him. He's trash. He is a liability in the run game. You have to send him to the sideline on the run game. He can't block a soul. George Pickens could be on the field 100% of snaps on the opposite side of Terry McLaurin because he could actually run block, stronger hands, bigger body. He could have been the whole thing, but I digress. It is what it is.
Well, let me rephrase that. Not saying I'm not justifying that we picked him at 16. I'm just saying from the crop of guys that was available at any point in the draft, you could have picked somebody and been satisfied with.
You can trade. Maybe they do Jahan George.
But
it's such a bad.
Let's add. So we got a question for Jairus here. Jairus DC, what we gotta upgrade in the 4th downs?
4th rounds.
What we
I don't know if he means 4th round.
Full in 4th round.
I don't know what kind of question this
or
is.
To pick up, or does he mean like to pick up 3rd downs? I don't know. Try to rephrase that. Burgundy and Gold wants us to discuss Chase Young. All right, perfect segue to move over to the defense side of things. So yes. along with the big Scott Turner news and the ownership, another person that we have to talk about, Deron Payne. Let me say this to Deron Payne. We'll go around. I'm gonna start it off. To me, it doesn't seem like he wants to be back here. Again, maybe that's just his personality, but I made a video on it. Doesn't mean he's not going to be, but the way he talks about it, when he's asking questions in the press conference, and especially the locker room cleanup, it didn't seem like he was enthused on being back here. When a guy wants to be back here, he lets that be known. I mean, what did Terry McLaurin say? What did Jonathan Allen say? What did Cole Holcomb say when asked about does he want to be back here? Taylor Heineke, same deal. Deron Payne was just like, hey man, y'all know what I want. I'm gonna let my agent handle it. A simple, hey man, I don't mind being back here. It is a business, so I understand. That would have been cool. And I'm like, all right, I understand if he wants to be back, but he didn't say none of that. And to me, it doesn't feel like he wants to be back here. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I would definitely love Deron back here. You cannot re-sign him after the season he turned in, bro. You have to find a way to work out something. If you're going to franchise tag him, I wouldn't go that route. If you can't find a long-term deal with him, then just let him go, because I don't want to deal with franchise tags again, because that would just be Kirk Cousins and Brandon Sheriff all over again. However, on the side of Deron Payne, if I'm Deron Payne, that's what I would do. I would let them franchise tag me this year, play on a franchise tag, and then either come back with them here and get a long-term deal, or go somewhere else and get a long-term deal. If I'm Deron Payne, I'm cleaning their pockets for however much money that I can. But from an organization and fan standpoint, if we can't get a long-term deal done with Deron Payne, then don't franchise tag and let him go, because I don't want to go that road again. Tim, I was about to say Brandon Sheriff. I'm sorry. Tim, let me know what you feel about Deron Payne. Am I overthinking that it doesn't seem like he wants to be here? Just all address the Deron Payne situation. Do you want him back here?
I do want Deron Payne back, but I'm completely fine letting him go. I don't think that this is a dire need of a player. Because we drafted Fedarian Mathis round 2, John Ridgway's looks solid in the middle. You just got that T-ho-ho whatever dude. Like, would I like to keep Deron Payne? Yeah, Deron Payne, sure. I'm not paying you $22, $23 million a year. I'm not paying you a Terry McLaurin kind of contract. If you want to get paid maybe 18 just over Jonathan Allen, yeah, then come on and hang out with us. I love to keep you. But if you want to, because clearly it seems like he wants to get paid top-notch money, and that's fine. Let him go and have fun somewhere else. You shouldn't have drafted a D-tackle round 2, but you did. So now that we did that, we wasted that capital there. We got to rely on him to be the replacement for Deron Payne. And what's up?
So your explanation is he can go because we have Fedarian Mathis.
And John Ridgway and other guys on the defensive line.
Fedarian Mathis is not going to be what people think.
But they're also going to be way cheaper. Now I could use that money that I was going to pay Deron. I can go get Orlando Brown. What?
Yeah,
they're going to get 11.5 sacks.
I don't need 11.5 sacks out of my D tackle. I need you eating up double teams in the run game, and I need Chase Young and Montez Sweat to have 12, 13, 14 sacks.
That's really what you're going to bank on?
We need that. We need them coming from our edge rushers. I don't need it from the interior of my defensive linemen. I need you to get my linebackers free in the run game so that we can actually get tackles for loss. That's what I need you to do. And Fedarian Mathis does that very, very well. He eats double teams tremendously.
Deron Payne, we need Deron. That's a need. I want the whole D-line.
Definitely not a need.
He's a need. John, I'm not relying on no John Ridgway and what's that other boy name?
Mathis.
Fedarian Mathis. I'm not relying on that. I'm just not doing that.
Yeah.
To me, I think Deron Payne is going.
You did spend a second.
I think Deron Payne. I'm not going to say how I think he's going, but I know he's going.
I would have never have drafted Fedarian Mathis, and I wouldn't be in this conversation. But you spent second round capital on a dude that's going to be riding your bench. Get out of here.
Yeah, you can't do that.
That's stupid by Martin Mayhew. But that's the position we're in now. So now we don't want to spend $23 million a year on a defensive tackle. You have to rely on Fedarian Mathis to give you something. It sucks. Martin Mayhew put us in a toilet bowl here, but I would rather send that money to Orlando Brown to get a left tackle. Then that would open us up to the corner that you guys want to draft in the first round, if that's what you guys want to do. Because right now I want a left tackle at 16. But if I get Orlando Brown, then I'm fine with going the corner direction that you guys want to go in. That's fine. But we need to fix the left tackle spot. Not Cornelius Lucas. He needs to be cut too. But Charles Leno needs to be cut. Stat. He's terrible. Terrible.
Cornelius Lucas need to be cut?
I ain't cutting Lucas.
Okay, Lucas can go too. He's
the
whole offensive line except for Cosby.
Lucas
And Chase Fourier.
Off the bench. Yeah,
okay, off the bench is fine, but he should never.
He shouldn't be starting. I agree with
that. They were starting him over
Sam
Cosmi. They were starting him over Cosmi.
Man, because they were rotating them in and out.
No, Cosmi was healthy and he was not playing except for like random 2 plays a game or some random crap in the middle of the year. It was stupid.
I think guys like I know Pedro, you gotta go ahead and then leave.
Yeah. Let me just say the thing about Deron Payne, and I got a dip. But I was just gonna say, I would try to bring him back. I think he is worth it. He's a beast. Obviously has the chemistry with the D lineman already, so I would try to bring him back. It does suck that we did invest a second round pick in Mathis. I did not like the move at all because you could have gotten, like, John Ridgway was a rookie in this class. Like, he literally had a good impact in his rookie year. You could have done that and kept him settled and you would have been fine. But no, they decide to spend a second round pick on him instead of a lineman or a linebacker. And so I would try to bring him back. If you can't bring him back, I know, Juan, you say you don't want to tag him. I would not mind tag and trade because you can get a second round pick minimum. There was a team offering second round pick last year for Deron Payne before he popped off and got 11.5 sacks. This year, if you can find a team that's willing to pay him and you can trade him, I think you can do that. And then real quick, someone said they want to talk about Chase Young. Chase Young needs to step up this year. Zero excuses. There's not a single excuse for Chase Young in 2023. ACL was last year. He has a full offseason to recover. and there's no excuses. I don't want to hear double teams, chips. He is the number 2 overall pick. There should be zero excuses for Chase Young. Minimum double-digit sacks this year, or else it's not success. He's a Davion Clown if he doesn't do that. And I got a dip, but appreciate all you guys for having me on. Good talk. And yeah, peace, guys.
I appreciate you coming on, man. Make sure you guys get subscribed to Pedro. And if anybody else needs to go ahead and leave, we'll wrap it up here shortly. But we have a lot of questions that people want to answer. But back to what we were talking about before we get to the Chase Young answer.
Oh, you talking about Payne, right?
Yeah, with Deron Payne, but I don't know if I would necessarily say I would release. You said you only would want to bring back Cosme for the offensive line. I would want to bring back.
And Rouillet. Rouillet is fine.
Well, Chase Rouillet, but he's already under contract.
Wes can go. Wes can go.
To me, if this was me running it, I would bring back Wes on a reasonable deal and let him actually play guard. He's been playing center and not playing natural position.
Agreed.
I would bring back Tyler Larson, especially giving the injury history. I would bring back Tyler Larson.
Larson needs to go stat.
And then
he is horrid.
You're saying he's bad as an on-field product?
He is so bad.
But I'm saying as a depth product.
There is one guy.
No, we need to go get someone else. What's up?
There's one guy on this,
with him in the lineup.
I told you they say that. He's 6-1-1.
As bad as he was.
I want to see a guy who's on our offensive line, who's been here for years, that's covering a roster spot, that hasn't done nothing. I want to see Sadiq. That's what I want to see.
He's never healthy. He's never healthy.
I need Sadiq.
He never plays.
Figure it out. I need to see what he has.
He's never playing, but he's always hurt. He's sustained a concussion, and the guy doesn't even get in the game. He never plays, but he's always hurt.
Well, when the Sadiq got in this year, he was all right. Sadiq looked all right out there. And I hate saying that because I couldn't stand Sadiq. Man,
Sadiq at guard is fine. I like Sadiq at guard.
I want go re-sign Eric Flowers. Swallow your pride.
Stop asking do that. Stop asking they're not gonna do it. That's a minute they made a mistake. They're not gonna do that.
Norwell's trash.
Norwell is so bad.
Norwell sucks.
And Trey Turner's the worst of the bunch. It goes Turner, Larson, and then Norwell. And
I think Norwell is worse than Trey Turner. At least when Trey Turner was healthy at some point.
So is Norwell. They're all bad. They're all bad.
Andrew Norwell.
No. Turner and Norwell can all pack their bags and get the hell out of DC.
And Larson.
Commercial flight. They don't get first class flights. They get commercial flights. Get the hell out of here.
Oh, if they want to leave, I'll give them all I'll give them all first class.
No,
I'll give them first class out of here. Stat. If you want to leave,
you're not getting no AP from Atlanta.
All right, so Burgundy Gold, we got to answer Burgundy Gold's question here. He says, "Do me a favor and talk about Chase Young." Tim, we're gonna let you kick it off with the Chase Young talk here.
I liked what I saw from Chase Young. He looked explosive. It looked like his knee was healthy, and I'm happy to keep Chase Young another year. And then I guess is this the year that we have to decide his fifth-year option? Then I'm fine with that. Go ahead and extend him to his fifth-year option, especially because you want him under contract if he explodes, and then you have better negotiation power and the next offseason to sign him. But I would like to stay with Chase Young. He was clearly a huge disappointment prior to the injury last year, but I thought he had some good explosion off the line. He's great in the run game. He does need to continue to work on his pass rush moves, but I'm hoping that Jonathan Allen and company are getting in his ear. But I know he's got tons of energy, plays with a lot of passion and a lot of heart, and I do like Chase Young.
Yeah, I mean,
what's that for, Jairus? We've got to fight.
Don't say Jonathan Allen. Just say in company. Don't say John Allen.
Why not say John Allen?
If he got some moves or something to show somebody.
John Allen's got moves. He's like a ninja.
He got the hump move. He got the hump move that he loves.
That's the only move he got.
He got the patented hump move that he's been killing everybody with. I mean, he literally obliterated Kenyon Green. I'm like, he was just toying with the kid.
Kenyon Green.
Bad for him.
So
but no. Yeah, Chase, it's crazy to think the guy's in his going into his fourth season already, man. God, hindsight 2020, man. Justin Herbert would look so beautiful in the burgundy.
I was not impressed with him. I was disappointed at him in that
But
game.
at the time, what are you saying now? What are you saying the playoff game?
In the playoff game, he was disappointing. He deserves as much credit as anybody for losing that game. He looked like his sphincter got so tight. He looked nervous. He couldn't complete a pass. He was rough in that comeback. Like he was a big part of the reason they couldn't ice that game out.
If you that dude, you gotta go. You gotta show up.
I mean, yeah, that's true, but it was also they were up 30, bro. Like, they should
27, yeah.
27. They should
have ran the football, ran the clock.
That's what I'm about to say. They should have.
Dude, you have a guy like the way that people talk about Justin Herbert. You should be able to throw the ball and end that game. Pat Mahomes throws the ball and ends that game.
Yeah, I'm not.
Joe Burrow throws the ball and ends that game. If you're the kind of guy that everybody's talking about,
in that game,
who?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen would throw the ball to end that game as in a pick six. But no, I'm just kidding. I do like Josh Allen. He's just not in the same tier. He's a tier below. He's amazing. Josh Allen is a stud, but he's just not in that tier.
He's not in the tier with who? With who? Just Patrick Mahomes?
It's Pat Mahomes and Joe Burrow is 1 and 2, and then it's another tier below that.
Oh, no. I'm not going to do Josh Allen like that.
Justin Herbert's in the tier below.
Hold on.
Who?
I would understand.
Josh Allen is a beast.
Yeah, but he's not Mahomes and Joe Burrow.
But listen, I would understand if you put Patrick Mahomes in a tier by himself. But the fact that you have Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow as the two best quarterbacks in the NFL and Josh Allen not in a discussion. I love Joe Burrow. But if you're gonna have Patrick Mahomes in a tier by himself, I can't argue with you. But you got Joe Burrow along with him, and then you got a tier below.
I love Joe Burrow.
I gotta agree with him.
He's cerebral.
Because the reason why I gotta agree because Mahomes can't beat Joe Burrow, so they're in the same tier for that very reason. Mahomes cannot.
I don't know if I'm just being I don't know if I'm just being a Josh Allen.
At all. No, dude, Josh Allen is a beast.
Josh Allen is a stud, top notch until you start talking about him compared to the two best quarterbacks in the league, and then he has to take a step down, which is fine.
I think it's Mahomes. Well, biasly, I think it's Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, but realistically, I think it's Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, 3.
Josh Allen to me, when I watch him, it's just he does things he doesn't have to do.
He does.
But when I watch him, I say he's Mahomes, but smarter.
Bro, I'm about to say cut Terry. They're getting me in the comments. They think I hate everybody.
He's a bigger version of Mahomes and with more athleticism.
He is a more athletic player, and he's got just as strong as arm, but he's not nearly as cerebral as the other two, and that's why he's thrown way too many freaking picks.
He can carve you up. He can carve you up. Let's not crap on Josh Allen. Like he can't go.
Josh Allen.
I have him as my number 3 quarterback. Of course, I think he can destroy you.
And I got.
I'll trade everything I got.
I'm not arguing. We can flip flop all day, but I would just take Josh Allen over. You're saying that he's cerebral and he can do all this. Everything Joe Burrow can do, Josh Allen can do. You can't say that about Joe Burrow.
No.
I mean, Joe Burrow is not out here running people over, hurdling guys, beating guys down the sideline, lowering his shoulder. He's not doing that. From the pocket, okay, mentally you probably will say Joe Burrow is better, but from the pocket, they equally have. I think Josh Allen has a better arm than Joe Burrow. Accuracy, Joe Burrow.
Of course he does.
So what I'm saying is,
Josh Allen probably has the strongest arm in football. His arm is insanely strong.
So if we're talking purely quarterback, then you have to put him in that category.
No,
Josh Allen and Mahomes. Why isn't that? If you just told me,
beat Joe Burrow. Go beat him this week. You have him on you have him in your crosshairs. Go beat him and prove me wrong.
I think they're going to.
All right, go beat him. I also have the Bills in the Super Bowl this year. I picked the Bills to go to the Super Bowl preseason. So there you go.
Mahomes is 1, Josh Allen's 2. I can't argue it. If you say Burrow's 2,
you know what, man? Burrow won. Forget on Burrow won.
Burrow won.
Until Mahomes can show me he can beat Burrow, Burrow's won.
If Burrow goes to win a Super Bowl this year, is he won?
Burrow's
is he better than Mahomes?
Pat Mahomes.
If he defeats him,
Pat Mahomes is a special breed. He is insane.
What'd you say?
So he's already beat Mahomes 2 times, right, or 3 times. He's beaten 3 times already, right?
Three times.
Yeah.
He's beaten 3 times already, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then let's say Bengals and Chiefs in the AFC Championship again. Burrow beats them again, and it goes on the beat. Let's say the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Is Burrow better than Mahomes?
There's a conversation to be had, but all I know is right now Pat Mahomes in 4 years has been to 4 straight AFC Championship games, 2 Super Bowls, and won one, and has an MVP under his belt. So Pat Mahomes is proven right now that he's number one, and then Joe Burrow. If Joe Burrow does it again, then maybe Joe Burrow does need to be number one. But they're in that category, 1A, 1B.
Into Andy Reid, the greatest play caller in history, with Travis Kelce as a weapon, and Tyreek.
Oh, don't talk to me about weapons if you want to start going there. We talking Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd.
Hold on. I'm talking about coming in.
No, sir. Hell no. We're not
coming in.
Coming in, T. Higgins. He had T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. That's pretty good. Coming in. Yeah, coming in, he had those two.
I said coming in.
Yeah, coming in. He had Joe Mixon, he had T. Higgins, and he had the other kid, Tyler Boyd. That's a heck of three weapons.
Who was his head coach?
The O-line was sus. The O-line was sus.
Did his head coach get fired?
I think so, right? Did he?
Oh, okay. That's what I thought.
Who was their coach?
One guy has the greatest offensive mind in history, and Andy Reid.
That's fine.
Oh, 100%. Pat Mahomes
Travis Kelce,
great.
about to be argued, is probably one, and when it's all said and done, it's arguably going to be the best tight end ever.
But okay, I'll
Kelsey's a stud. I love Kelce.
I'm going to ask you this, though. This year, other than Kelce, what's the elite weapon on the Kansas City Chiefs?
Okay, that's fair.
Another elite weapon on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Elite weapon? You don't need another elite weapon, but we can sleep on Juju if you want. Juju's legit.
Juju? Come on, stop.
He's not elite. He's not elite by any stretch, but he's a fine weapon to have number 2 behind Kelce.
But to Tim's point, had Mahomes not take that big old contract, could have kept Tyreek Hill.
You know what's crazy? Is that's the best. That is the best huge deal I've ever seen a team make with a quarterback, but since Tom Brady. It's $50 million a year, but it's spread out over 10. That's crazy.
We'll get back to that because we're about to do the playoff predictions for this week and then get out of here for the night. But we'll answer this right quick. Tony P56 says Jahan good. Appreciate you for the chat. He says Jahan did good in this rookie season. He only had 4 drops. Please expound. And the real liability on the runs are the tight ends and the parts of the O-line. So I think that he's addressing Tim. Was that Tim that said that? Or was it Jairus? I think it was both of you guys that were talking about this. So that is
the real liability on runs are the TEs.
Oh yeah, because you were saying Jahan Dotson can't block.
Oh, Jahan Dotson cannot block whatsoever. Not that we need him. Not that you should be relying on him. But for some reason, Scott Turner would run behind Jahan Dotson as if he could block somebody, or put him out there to block on screen passes. It's stupid. Scott Turner was being ridiculous. But no, that was just another point of why Pickens is better. Huh?
Yeah. And then they'll have Curtis Samuel.
Yeah.
And then he'll have Curtis Samuel trying to block. He'll have Curtis Samuel trying to block Myles Garrett 1-1.
My thing is,
the O-line was horrible for sure.
Everybody was telling me, "Oh my gosh, Jahan Dotson, best hands in the draft." I couldn't tell.
False.
Oh my God.
It was false day one. It was false. The lowest drop rate in college was George Pickens. That was who had the lowest drop rate in college. The real best hands in the draft. And then you just saw that one-hand nastiness against the Browns he had this year. Go get... I was depressed that weekend. You guys don't understand. I was depressed that we didn't have the...
Jahan is good. He's very, very, very good.
I do like Jahan.
I'm happy to have him on my team as my wide receiver too.
Yep.
But be clear, that's all he'll be, is a wide receiver too. Be clear.
Okay,
I'm higher on Harv than most people. I don't care. I'm biased. I don't care.
Jahan has to show me, right for y'all, who's the best QB in the NFL. How?
He was nowhere near as good. People don't watch Pittsburgh. That's fine. He had like 800 yards.
I need to see Jahan
George Pickens in his rookie year
against number 1 corners.
Pickens is a dog, bro.
Jahan. I ain't gonna lie. Trayvon Diggs was shadowing Jahan for whatever reason. I don't know why Terry wasn't matching him, but Diggs.
Terry was moved around.
Finally, right?
For the first time in I don't know how long. Why it take for the last game for you to move Terry around?
Why you got fired?
Jahan got off on Diggs a couple times. That game. This is right quick. Who was the best in the NFC?
How?
Brock Purdy. I mean, if you want to be off,
You
of
don't
this,
believe
if
that. You
go
don't
off of
believe
this-
that.
if you
So
wanna-
now Sam Howell's
if
better
you
than
wanna go
Ritter?
off of this,
You said is he talking about NFC completely or the NFC East?
Well, he just said
I
NFC.
think he's talking about. Yeah, he's talking about
Oh.
the NFC conference.
Yeah,
Like this shit.
It has to be.
Jalen Hurts?
yeah.
It has to be
Who?
Brock Purdy.
Brock is the
What?
best.
I mean,
Dude, no shot.
Listen,
Bro.
fellas, listen. We literally just went. This is how poor it is. We just went from talking about Burrow, Mahomes, and Allen to now what? Purdy and Hurts and who else? Kirk Cousins. I mean, who was the best quarterback in the NFC? Daniel Jones in that discussion.
Brock.
Like
Brock. That's ridiculous.
that just goes to show
That
you
is
how
a
bad
joke.
the NFC
Brock won
quarterback.
a playoff
A-Rod
game.
is still the best quarterback of the NFC.
For some
A-Rod
reason,
is
I
still
don't
the
know
best
why
quarterback in the NFC.
It's Brock City. It's
not
Brock
Brock
Town
City.
now.
Pretty
Brock
Harvin
City.
for offensive
Brock
coordinator.
City was able to throw 5 yards and get a 70-yard touchdown. He's in the best offense that we can imagine right now. And you're talking about Pat Mahomes and his offense, whatnot. No, Brock Purdy right now, he's playing great. He looks sus in that playoff game. Sus.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. He threw some dangerous balls in that game that fortunately were caught.
And he missed Debo Samuel wide open too. By the way,
Yeah, trying to take a deep shot should have been picked.
But I'm not gonna lie, that when he did make a Mahomes play where Brandon Ayuk literally dropped.
Okay, that's exactly what I was saying. That's all him.
That was crazy.
Brandon, he
Brock
literally
is like this.
You got to catch
he
that.
went left, came back right,
Brock is
and knew he was gonna
Okay,
get
I've seen
clobbered.
Taylor Heineke do that, but nobody wants to give him
What?
any credit for that. Oh, he's
Next
bought time in the
topic.
pocket all
topic.
over the place. Talking about fourth down and
Next
6
topic.
or fourth down and 4
Next
when
topic.
he's throwing
Next
offside arm underneath
Next
with
topic.
pressure.
He ain't
And
talking
finding-
about Heineke. Heineke don't play for this team no more. This man just said, Taylor Heineke, I'm good.
Yeah, Taylor Heineke has made those plays, has he not?
He has never in his life made a play like that.
Oh my God! Go back to the Giants game that we tied, and he kept us in that game with an insane 4th and 4. Mahomes type play, absolutely.
That man
And that's
was
fine. Brock is
one
better
man
than Taylor.
that
That's
caught
fine.
like
But that doesn't
20
mean you're a great
No.
quarterback because you can
I
make
mean-
that play.
I mean, no, I was trolling when I said Brock Purdy was number 1, obviously, but you can't.
Somebody ain't.
Somebody's
Somebody's not.
Not Brock the best in that right now.
Give me Hurts, bro.
Brock is the best in the Final Four.
Yeah.
Give me Hurts, bro.
Well, on the NFC side, yeah.
Give me Hurts, bro.
Just in the Final Four or total throughout the league?
On the NFC side.
In the NFC
Total in the
conference.
NFC.
NFC conference right now.
Or just
Right
the last
now,
four?
So who's the best?
If
Just
he
be clear.
wins
Just the last four? Just the last four. You're talking about the last four
people,
quarterbacks. Okay.
Yeah.
Is he the best one standing? I mean, I'm not a big fan of Dak, not a fan of Daniel. I mean, I guess Hurts would be the
Dak
only
is-
one that
I
has
think,
to
I think based off of this year, you got to go Hurts. I mean, based off of this year, you have to go
Hurts
him.
was good.
I
I would go Hurts. I would go Hurts
If
1,
Hurts-
Brock 2, Dak 3,
If Hurts
Daniel
loses
Jones 4.
Daniel Jones better than Hurts.
Nah. Still, I'm not gonna lie. Still give me Dak Prescott. Still give me Dak Prescott over Brock Purdy and Daniel Jones. I mean, Dak was dialed in yesterday.
Dialed in against what?
Huh?
No pass rush. No pass.
Get
No,
dialed in against
he-
what? The Buccaneers. The Buccaneers trash. I told y'all that
Man, who-
years ago. They suck. They're not good.
he did say they were trash.
We're not doing that. They 8-9. They should never have made the playoffs. They're 8-9.
Somebody had to, but
We smoked them.
South.
We smoked them. They turned right back around, got Tampa. Now all of a sudden, everybody want to be on them. They should have played.
nobody wants
round.
nobody wants to be on him. Nobody's saying Dak Prescott hasn't
They
been
should've
bad.
played
But
us.
if we're talking about the quarterbacks that are still remaining in the NFC, I'm ranking them. I'm ranking them
Dak
Hurts
over
one.
Hurts.
I'm taking Hurts over Brock Purdy. Yes, I am. As good as he's been for the quarterback standing. I'm
Tell
still-
Jalen Hurts win a playoff game first.
I mean, he led his team.
It's probably his
he led
first
team
playoff
to the
game.
first seed, so he didn't have to.
Tell him win a playoff game first.
All right, let's see.
Let's see if we can get past the Giants, then we can talk.
All right, let's see.
They're gonna smoke
But-
the Giants. Boy. We're gonna vote Giants.
Real quickly, I know ProTech got to go, so if you have to go ahead, bro. I appreciate you.
No,
coming
let's
on,
finish
of
this game
course,
real quick.
check
Let's
them
real
out.
quick.
Oh, all right. We're going to do these picks, and then we're going to use these wonderful gentlemen out of here, man. First game, obviously, I think it is going to be the Chiefs and the Jags. Go around the horn and say the Chiefs, right? I'm assuming.
Kansas City Chiefs. My Louis T voice.
I gotta go to the Jags not making it out of this one. If
Yeah,
Jags make it out of this one,
No, I don't see it. They're not beating Mahomes, bro.
Mahomes. If Trevor Lawrence beat Mahomes, I don't hear nothing out Mahomes again.
I'm still gonna be biased.
I don't hear nothing about Mahomes again. You cannot lose to the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence. I do not want to. He can't. I don't see it happening. I don't.
There's no way. He's not doing it.
Mm,
Mahomes
I
is
think
not
it'll be
doing it.
close. I think it'll be
I
close.
don't think it's gonna be close. I think
It'll
the
be close.
Chiefs are gonna. I think
Yeah, it's going to be close for about 3 minutes.
I think the first quarter
I
may
think
be close,
it's going to
but
be close, bro. I think it's going to be close.
I think the first quarter is gonna be close, and then the Chiefs is gonna just
They're gonna
Arrowhead's gonna be rocking.
I got
Give the
Chiefs.
Jags 14 points. I'd take still Kansas City by 14.
I got the Chiefs.
That's disrespectful.
I got the Chiefs.
And then the nightcap we got the Chiefs. Nightcap Giants Eagles. It's gonna be a really good game.
Die Eagles die.
I'm gonna
Give
go.
me DJ and say something.
Wait, who we
I
got?
don't know. I fuck Giants
Eagles.
Eagles.
Oh, I got Eagles.
DJ and say.
Nah.
I think I'm gonna go
Saquon's a
Eagles
stud.
too, but
And I love Brian Dable.
Come on.
I would not be surprised if the Giants win. But give me the Eagles, man.
Hers gonna like them boys.
I'm gonna stand alone.
I mean, the last time they played, they literally obliterated them. But that doesn't mean anything because it's hard to beat teams.
And
Well, they were
also
taking
the
the
last
week
time they
off.
played-
Well,
Last
no,
time they
I'm talking
played,
about
they
the
still
last
almost
time.
lost.
No. They were taking the week off because they cared about our game. Our game was the important one.
Well, the first matchup, I should say.
Yeah, the first matchup was the one in between us, where they played us, Eagles, then us. They just cared about beating us because that was the only game that mattered for them to get into the
Oh yeah,
playoffs.
the Giants was taking it all.
Yeah, so they say I think Saquon barely played that game because he was coming off like the weird injury potential, and yeah, it was the Giants. That was not a very indicative. That was not indicative of
If
them.
they won, but I'm gonna go Eagles.
They're gonna have Hurts and Brown, man. Let's go.
And then game of the week probably Bengals Bills. Ooh, give me Bills, man. I gotta go. That's tough, man. I don't want to see either one. This is an AFC Championship game. I don't want to see either one of them lose because I like Burrow and I like Allen just a lot bit more. So give me Josh Allen, man. Who's checking Stephon Diggs? Who's gonna be able to stop?
Eli Apple, baby. Eli Apple's shutting them down. Oh, you're gonna say Stephon who?
Eli Apple struggled against DeMarcus Robinson.
I'm just
You know
kidding.
what,
Eli
bro?
sucks.
Yeah.
Eli sucks. I'm trolling.
Bengals my Super Bowl pick, and this is a game where Josh Allen cannot turn the football over, or you will get blown out.
Yep.
Badly. And he's been turning it over, and I expect the same thing from him in this game. I just think they just got too many weapons. They got too much. And I like they pass rush a little bit better than the Bills pass rush. So I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
Honestly, preseason I had the Bills in there because I thought they were just the stacked team. But I think I'm going Bengals too this week. The reason I was sticking with my prediction up until Tampa lost because I had Bills versus Tampa preseason, and then now that Tampa lost, I can change. I feel like, but I'm going Bengals this week. I think they're the better team.
I'm thinking the Bills. SD is him, the DMV native. Y'all know what time it is, Juan. Juan know SD's him. You know, SD about to do his thing.
That's what I'm saying.
8 catches, $150.
Dawson Knox, Gabe Davis, Cole Beasley always makes his appearance in the playoffs, even though he's like 38.
Hey, one more.
I don't think that's enough.
Hold on. One more. The Bills can run the ball now. They can run the ball.
Are they going to?
They can run the ball.
They can run the ball. Why they didn't do it in that game against the Dolphins?
Hey.
They get in their own way. This is gonna be a shootout, so it's not gonna be no run the football. This is a shootout. Okay, they can run the football. Who would you rather take, Joe Mixon or Devin Singletary? And whoever else, who would you take?
Joe Mixon.
I like James Cook.
Joe Mixon.
Samaje P. Ryan has been a dog for them. I'll take him over all their backs.
I like James
Also-
Cook. No. P. Ryan not over Cook. No way.
Did you see? P. Ryan had like a 3-touchdown game this year.
I don't care.
Look,
Daryl Young's had a
Taylor
3-touchdown
Wilson,
game in his
Odell
career
Park,
as a fullback.
Josh
That means
Allen
nothing
is
to me.
a dog, SB is him, and they're not about to play with these boys. Ain't no offense to the Bengals.
I think
I
it's
got
gonna be
Bengals.
like a shootout.
It's gonna be
I got the
tight.
Bills
Bengals.
winning.
Bills by 3, man. That's it, man. That's decent.
I think this is gonna be the first game we see the new NFL.
Juan Gotti's going to
overtime
figure
rules.
out why Joe Burrow is the number 2 quarterback in the league.
No.
Y'all
Tim is going to figure out why Josh Allen's going to be good for Josh Allen's going to be good for a hurdle or two. You know what I'm saying?
hurdle, yeah.
And you know, this is probably. I think I'm gonna go on record to say this is probably the first game we see the new overtime rules go into effect. That's how good this game is going to be. But then the final game of the weekend, we have Cowboys 49ers.
Niners gonna blow them out.
I really hope the 49ers kill them, but for
gonna
some
blow
reason,
them
I don't know
out.
why.
It's going to be the embarrassing game of the week. It really is.
I have
Niners,
a
it's gonna
bad
be
feeling
bad.
about this. I have a bad feeling about
It's
this.
gonna be just like who did the Niners play in the beginning? It's gonna be just like the Vikings game. It's gonna look cute for a little minute, and then they're gonna be like, "All right, let's just get them out of here."
The
That-
Seahawks.
Nick Bosa will
Yeah,
have
the
a field
Seahawks.
day.
Yeah, the
Nick
Seahawks
Bosa
game
will
you're
have
talking
a
about.
field day. Eric Armstead, Javon Kinlaw, they're going to have a field
I
day.
hope
Give me
so,
the
man.
Niners, man. Give me the Niners.
Give me the Niners, even though I got a bad feeling about that. Give me the 49ers.
The Eagles and the Cowboys gonna be sitting right here on the couch with us.
And then that means that is the end of today's show, ladies and gentlemen. So I appreciate y'all for coming on here, rocking with me tonight. We got ProTech here. We got Jairus. We got Tim. Any final words you have for the stream? Let you know where they can find you all. The links will be in the description and your names are in the title. So please do yourself a favor and go subscribe to these three GOATs, these 3 great content creators in this wonderful Commanders community. Jairus, we'll start with you with any last words, and we'll go around the horn and call it a night.
My last words is let the Cowboys lose, so we all can be happy. That's my last words. Let the Cowboys lose.
Tim.
Go Niners. Please take out the rest of the NFC East and get to the Super Bowl so we don't have to listen to them anymore. But no, thanks for having me on, Juan. It was a lot of fun. And thanks for the chat. You guys were giving me a hard time. I love it. It's always good. And then if you would like to come over to the Tim Sports Talk, I'll be live streaming all 4 of the games as well as all the way to the Super Bowl with doing the radio-style play-by-play. So come hang out and in the chat and things like that. So thanks again, Juan.
No problem. I appreciate you for coming on, and make sure you guys go subscribe to those 2. And then last but not least, certainly ProTech Sports. Take us out and let us know where they can find you.
Hey, man. Hey, my last words. Hey, Niners, beat all the ops. Get all the ops out of here. I'm tired of talking all this trash. I want them the hell out of here. Get all the opposition out. Get all the ops out of here. I'm tired of them. Tired of Giants fans. I'm certainly tired of Eagle fans. Oh, my
I'm
God.
really rooting for the Giants.
Tired of them. I want
I
to
really
choke
am
them.
deep down in my heart.
It's probably the Cowgirl fans. Like, get these ops out of here. It's not good for real.
I don't mind the Giants
They
making it.
fraudulent. Get them out of here, man. Frauds. 2 of them are frauds. One's legit. But we know what the frauds are. The Cowgirls and the G-men. Or the
Heineke should have beat the Giants twice.
B-men. Whatever you want to call them. They suck. Hey, go follow me in the Protect Sports Network on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button.
That's what's crazy though, bro.
Score.
If we were in,
And hit me on
we
Twitter.
would have beat the Vikings. We could have beat the Eagles, and we would have had a rematch with the Niners. Now we had a chance in all of them. That's some bull jive. It really is. That's
We would've
sad.
played Sam Howell.
We should have been ashamed ourselves.
Man, but I appreciate
had
y'all
to
for coming
roll
on again. I appreciate y'all for coming on again, and definitely agree. We should be playing postseason football right about now,
Hey,
but
man.
obviously we're not. But I appreciate you coming on. Make sure you guys subscribe to all of these fellas. Links will be down below in the description, and their names in the title that take you directly to their channel. So please sub up to me as well, I should say. And see you guys next time. Have a great night. Peace.
Cross me one time, that's gonna get you pop, get you poppin', get you driving, slide.